I got it. So getting this Hackintosh built is one thing, but getting it working is another. So the first thing I actually encountered when I built this is my audio wasn't working, and I've actually managed to fix this a little bit using USB wired headphones. But in the 20Mac x86 forum I made, I had a little problem with my motherboard. Now, I'm not the only one that has a problem, because El Capitan, unlike Yosemite, has a different sound system, so that kind of ruined some things, because Yosemite actually worked and El Capitan doesn't. So that had to be something I had to overcome, but getting some headphones with a USB amplifier wasn't too hard. Another thing that was really cool is El Capitan better supports the SSD I'm using, the MX100, and it really just boots up in 20 seconds. Now my MacBook boots up in a little slower, and it has basically the same exact SSD, just a little bit less storage option. Now, one of the things to consider when you're building a computer, and the case you're going to build it in, is you gotta just add a little bit of creative flair to the case. Let's say you have just an aftermarket case, and it's just normal, you're just going to have it sitting there. A computer, okay, while it helps you do things, you want it to look pleasing, at least on your setup, at least look good. And that's one of the things that kind of drove me to this PowerMac G5 mod. This G5 wasn't perfect, as I've said in the previous clips, but it was one of the ones that just, it was one of the things that really just fit in without me actually thinking about it too much, because aluminum fits in a lot of stuff. And, I have white walls and glass, and that really just fits in really well with the color schemes. Silver goes with anything, just remember that if you remember one thing from this video. Now, one of the things that was a problem is the aluminum scratches my floor, because I have wooden floors. So one of the things I needed to get were these little foam tiles, and they're really cool because I got them from the hardware store for $8 for 4, so $2 for each. I guess that's kind of not so cheap, but it's a really good deal since it doesn't scratch the floor anymore. It also cancels out vibration, so if you can find these little things, you should really go get them. Now, when I plugged everything in, I had a custom power supply, so I get to use the exact same cable I had before. And the white cable, again, matches with my walls, which are white. So that was really good. One of the things that I really liked, because my previous one was black. Now, one of the things I actually did is I didn't put it in the little cabinet that I had for the computer, because the computer doesn't fit in there anymore. The case is just a little too wide, so it fit perfectly right next to me. Now, I have a little bit of less leg room now, but it doesn't matter since I got a little bit of a smaller chair, and not the fancy one I had, which I didn't even like because I drooped in it. And booting up this thing is pretty good, because when you boot up, first of all, what I did was I actually disabled Clover showing up. So basically, it boots, it says MSI, which is the motherboard. It basically just shows the logo of MSI, and then it instantly goes to the Apple logo. So this just makes it look like a little bit of an extra touch of amazingness. Now, inside my About This Mac options, I basically put a little thing where it says PowerMac G5 mid-2003, and that's basically the model I have. I got the first ever PowerMac G5 model, so it was one of the things that was just kind of surprising, because I actually thought I bought a different one, and on the listing it said I bought the 2005 model. But for some reason, they sent me the 2003 model, and well, of course, I got a completely different computer, and I wasn't so happy about that. But now that I've looked at it, it doesn't really matter. The outside looks the same. I just wanted the inside to look a little bit more aesthetic, but I guess that's not happening. And one of the reasons I actually had to change out the case is because it wasn't fitting in with my desk setup anymore. My old case was just getting boring, and I can't even use water cooling right now, because I had a water cooling loop. Now I can't do that. I have to redo it now, but basically, just where the radiator mounts, it doesn't fit anymore. So I'm gonna have to figure that thing out, but basically, I think this was just worth it because it actually goes better in my desk. I wanted to make my desk more functional and more simplistic, and that was just part of this goal. So if you want to have a video series about making my desk a little more functional and just things you can add, you can leave a like, of course, if you want to. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry for rambling on in this video, but thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to leave a like, and if you really liked it, then make sure to subscribe and join the community, I guess. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.